If you're trying to buy your first investment property in Los Angeles and everything looks overpriced, that doesn't mean that there's no opportunity here. It means you cannot evaluate LA like an easy cash flow market. A lot of new investors open Zillow, look at a few listings, compare the mortgage to rent estimate, and immediately realize that the math is broken. The price is high, the rent doesn't seem strong, the monthly cost feels aggressive. After 10 minutes of searching, the conclusion becomes, how does anyone actually make money here? I understand that reaction, but Los Angeles typically doesn't reward the people looking for the simplest deal on the page. The opportunity here is often less obvious. It may be hidden in the location, the condition, the layout, the way the property is being used, the future buyer demand, the rental potential, or the gap between what most people see and what the property could become with the right plan. That doesn't mean every expensive property is a hidden gem though. Most aren't, in fact. But if you're a younger, high-earning buyer, a first-time investor, or someone trying to enter the LA market without making a big mistake, you need to understand what value actually looks like here before you start chasing listings. Because in Los Angeles, the danger isn't only just paying too much. The bigger mistake is paying too much for a property that doesn't support your strategy. So let's start with the part that most investors get wrong. They search for an obvious deal. They want a strong location, a low price, easy financing, a clean property, immediate rental income, low risk, and strong upside with no competition. That sounds amazing. It also almost never works that cleanly, especially in the Los Angeles market. When a property is priced well, easy to understand, and obviously attractive, you are not the only person seeing it. Experienced buyers, investors, agents, contractors, and cash-heavy buyers are usually paying attention to. So your edge will probably not come from finding the same perfect listing everyone else already wants. Your edge comes from understanding something other buyers are missing. And that is where value-add investing begins. Value-add does not mean buying something ugly and hoping the market saves you. It means there's a strategic path to making the property more valuable, more functional, and more desirable. That path has to be strategic and real. A dated kitchen is not a business plan. Old flooring doesn't automatically create upside. A low list price can be meaningless if the repair costs, location issues, or financing pressure erase the spread. The question is not, can this property be improved? Almost every property can be improved if you throw enough money at it. The better question is whether the improvement can create more value than what it costs. That's the difference between buying a project and buying an investment. A project gives you the work, an investment gives you the path. In LA, that path has to include the total cost, not just the purchase price. Renovation budget, financing, insurance, taxes, resale costs, carrying costs, vacancy, management, repairs, permits, time, and reserves all change the outcome. If those numbers don't all work together, that property is not a value add. It's just expensive work with a better name. This is where people get trapped by the idea of overpaying. Most buyers think overpaying means offering too much above the list price. That can happen, but it's not the only version. You overpay when you buy a property that cannot support what you want to do with it. A cheaper property can still be overpriced if the repairs are heavier than expected, the rent assumptions are too optimistic, the location limits demand, or the exit strategy is weak. A more expensive property can sometimes be a stronger buy if the location is better, future demand is deeper, the improvement plan is clearer, or the resale audience is more desirable. Price only makes sense inside the strategy. Without the strategy, you're just reacting to numbers. This is why find me a good deal in LA is way too vague. A good deal for who? Someone with construction experience can handle a property that would overwhelm a first-time buyer. A high-income professional who may want to first live in the property might evaluate the asset differently than someone who's looking to use the property purely as an investment. A buyer with strong cash reserves has options versus someone who's stretching the close would not have those options. That doesn't make one person smarter than the other though. It means the investment has to match the investor. Before you get serious about properties, you need to understand what the first move is supposed to accomplish. Are you trying to buy a pure rental? Are you looking for a primary residence with upside? Do you want a value add project? Is the goal long-term appreciation? Do you want the income now, flexibility later, or is this a stepping stone into a larger portfolio? Those answers change the search completely. That could be a home in a strong location with long-term resale demand. It could be a property you can improve gradually instead of taking a major renovation project. In the right situation, a duplex or a small multifamily might bring more rental income and flexibility, but that also brings more responsibility than a standard home purchase. This is where you have to be honest about your actual appetite for risk. Some people love the idea of owning a project until they're sitting through delays, contractor bids, permit questions, unexpected repairs, and a monthly payment that doesn't wait for the plan to go smoothly. Other buyers are more comfortable with that process and use it to create real value. Neither group is wrong. The problem comes from copying a strategy that doesn't fit your life, your finances, or your personality. Los Angeles is too expensive for fake confidence. If you're buying your first investment property here, precision matters a lot more than aggression. You need to know where the upside comes from. Renovation can create value, but it's not the only way. Sometimes the opportunity is a better layout, stronger rental positioning, better management, underused space, cleaner marketing, legal rent growth, or a resale story that the seller has not captured yet. The common thread is mispricing. You're trying to find the gap between what the market understands today and what the property could turn into. That gap can show in several different ways. Poor photos may hide a property that buyers don't realize. A dated interior can push buyers away even if the location, bones, and rental demand is great. In some cases, the listing looks ordinary because the long-term neighborhood story has not fully developed yet. None of that works if the fundamentals are weak though. You can't fix a bad location with nice finishes. You can't force rent demand that's not there. You can't turn every old property into a smart value-add project just because it's an old. This is where new investors need to be careful with social media advice. Those short videos make investing look clean. Someone buys a property, renovates it, raises the rent, refinances it, talks about equity, and the whole thing sounds simple, but real life has more friction. Budgets move, timeline stretches, permits slow things down, contractors miss things, tenants create complications, insurance costs changes everything. Financing terms can suddenly make a deal that looked good feel totally wrong. That doesn't mean you should avoid investing at all though. It means you need to really respect the process. LA can absolutely reward the right buyer, but it doesn't reward casual math. Now let's talk about property type because this is one of the easiest places to make the wrong comparison. A condo can feel like the simplest first investment because the entry point is lower and the management looks more manageable. But the HOA can change everything. Fees, reserves, rental restrictions, special assessments, building rules, insurance issues, and future buyer demand all matter. A single family home can give you more control, and in certain neighborhoods, the resale demand is a lot stronger. The challenge is that the income might not justify the price unless the location, the appreciation potential, and the value add all make sense. You understand what everyone else is missing before you put your money into the deal. If you're a younger buyer, a first-time investor, or a high-income professional looking to enter the Los Angeles investment market, subscribe. I'm going to continue breaking down value-add opportunities, property types, neighborhood strategy, and the mistakes that cause new investors to overpay. Drop a comment with the type of investment property you are considering in LA. Whether that is a condo, a single family home, or a multifamily unit, I'll use those questions to shape future videos in terms of what buyers are actually trying to figure out.